Don't actually say which ex. Just say like, you
Well,
know.
no,
we're not saying names.
I would never. I would never. You're welcome. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Kassandra Lee.
Efrangeliz.
And Jasmine Balais.
And you're listening to Look at Us.
Look at this.
Look at us. We're all in black today. We're looking.
We're grieving.
We're grieving. Oh, that's the mood?
Yeah.
I was more like, I feel sexiest in black. So I was like.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
I just want to
grieve and be sexy.
Yeah. So we're grieving.
Sexy grievers.
You can be sexy at a funeral.
Yo.
Sexy at a funeral.
Sexy at a funeral. What are we grieving for? Is it grief?
No, it's not grief.
No.
It's not.
I think, are we widows then? I don't know.
Are we widows?
Are we widows is crazy. We're not even married.
Yeah.
Oh.
Shut up.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to be funny. It came out that way.
I love how you caught yourself. Oh. Okay, well, how many exes have y'all had?
Exes, technically 3.
Technically, was the non-technical?
Because I've been in love 4 times, but only 3 of them have actually been my boyfriends.
Interesting. You were in love with somebody that wasn't yours?
Yeah, we messed around for a couple years, and we were together every day, but we never made it official.
Oh wow.
I know.
That's interesting.
So you were a mistress?
Were you a side piece?
I ended up being a side piece in my relationship. Yeah.
Really?
I sure did. Oh my gosh. Never again. That's the first time I.
And you didn't know. You didn't know.
I knew.
You knew you were a side piece?
That was 20. I was 20. I knew it was a side piece, but I was already in love with him. And then he made another girl his girl while we were dating. Not while we were whatever we were. And it was towards the end he made her his girlfriend. And then he's in heaven now. So rest in peace. Yeah, rest in peace. But he was dating. Yeah, he dated another girl, and she would come around, and I would have to act like I was just a friend. I was living.
Why do I feel like I've never heard this story?
Because it's a life that I don't,
Yeah, you're not proud of.
I was not proud of. I was 20 years old though.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm a baby. I was in love with this man. He was also telling me he's gonna leave her for me. He wanted me more. So I was believing that.
Oh my God.
At 20 years old.
No. Wow.
And then he ended up leaving her for me, and then I was like. N-word, please. And I moved to LA.
No way.
Yeah,
I didn't know this.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, how about you, Jazzy? How many exes?
Serious ones.
I like that y'all both have non-technical.
Right. Well, because there was maybe brief ones where it's okay, yeah, I know. Yeah. Brief. I guess 3.
I guess
4.
Yeah, okay, so.
I'll say 4.
4 relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
2.
2?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 exes.
Relationships?
I don't count
2, bruh.
I don't count high school.
That counts, bro.
I don't think so.
It counts.
It counts.
I don't count high school.
It needs to count. Okay, well, let's say you're counting high school. If we're all counting high school, how many?
Oh, if we're counting high school, 5.
If we're counting, but high school, I don't know.
These girls be trying to delete their history.
It's not that I'm deleting my history. I just feel like I'm an adult. I feel like, okay, this is when I was really in relationships. You know what I mean?
So you were never in love in high school?
I mean, I don't consider it love. No, I think it was the idea of.
Did you love your parents in high school?
Absolutely.
Or did you love your parents as an adult?
Oh my God. I'm saying that the people in high school that I was crushing on and would have, my, cute little relationships is more like the infatuation of the idea of what it could have been. I don't think I was actually in love. Now that I have something to compare it to. It was oh my God.
I think it was just a different kind of love because as an adult, you just learn a different
It might have been phase 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Love.
You find the connection and then you're like, oh my God, could this be? Are you the one? And then you just I'm going to give this my all because I want that one day. You know what I mean? But love is work. And I wasn't working at it.
because we were kids.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't count it. You know what I mean?
Bro, but as a teenager, we have awareness.
We're not even talking about love, though. We're just a relationship.
Okay, so if I'm counting high school, then entonces...
She's then 10.
Whoa, relax. If I'm counting elementary school, I think the first...
Well, not counting elementary school stuff.
See, why can't you count elementary school if you count high school? I feel like it's the same shit.
Because in high school, you can actually date. People actually are allowed to
I wasn't allowed to.
You wasn't allowed to go out.
The first person I was allowed to date, I'll count him.
Okay, but in middle and like when I think about elementary and in middle school, you're not kissing these people. You're just like, we're boyfriend and girlfriend. You can't talk. There's no phone, so like that doesn't really count.
No, I
high
get
school.
it.
There's phones. You're texting. You're seeing them.
You're not
however
really,
way you can.
That's what I'm saying. Like most of those relationships, I wasn't even allowed to date. Like it was like because we were in school through it. I mean,
so you didn't lose your virginity to a boyfriend?
I did lose my virginity to my senior year boyfriend. Yeah.
Okay, then that's a boyfriend you lost your virginity to. How does
You
that
don't
not count as a relationship?
Well, then 3.
This girl's hilarious.
4.
Not her trying to erase history.
It's not
Erase history.
but anyway.
She sound like these colonizers.
What is going on here? That's foul. That is so foul.
Just delete history and change it.
That is so foul.
Can't change
You're wrong
history,
for that.
Cass.
I'm explaining. Anyway.
Christopher Columbus.
Ay, Dios mío. You need to chill out, okay? I rebuke that. That ain't me. I rebuke that. Okay. How dare you? No, okay. So we're kind of high school 4 then, I guess. 3,
Okay,
4.
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But 2 in my adult life, which are the serious ones.
Yeah, I could feel it. I feel that. Okay, so what was y'all longest relationship?
10 years.
10 years?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, mine was 6 with my baby daddy.
Wow. But that
It would have been
school.
a match. Yeah, it would have been a match for my last ex too. We would have hit 6 years this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You too?
Mine was probably between 5, 6, probably about 5 years, because it was a little breakup, so almost 6. Yeah.
Okay.
This was like my high school sweetheart, so like we dated
In
after,
high school and then
in
after?
high school, and then like a couple years after. Yeah.
Oh, so your ex was like 5 years too? No.
That was not a relationship. That was just
We're deleting history
that
over
was
here?
no,
That
no.
wasn't a relationship?
I'm saying
another Christopher.
No. I'm saying it was maybe like a 1-year relationship that ended up being in the span of 5 years on and off. So I don't even count
on
because
and off?
Okay, so
because
no,
it
I
was
can see
more
that.
time off. It was a lot more time off and just going back.
No, yeah, because when you be
time.
telling me stories, I'd be like, how was this happening during this time? But I guess it's because you guys were off more than y'all were on.
Yeah, even though we were seeing each other, it was still off season. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, it was one of those.
All right, I feel that.
Okay.
Okay,
But
fair
yeah,
enough.
All right. Understandable.
just 5 years of running it back.
Running it back. Oh, so that's the next question. Have you guys ever ran it back?
No.
You've never ran it back?
I've never ran it back.
Not yet.
Not
well, I mean,
yet.
granted, she was married.
I was married for 10 years,
Like
bro.
how,
Who am I
yeah.
running it back to?
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet. Don't put the yets in there. I'm not running it back.
No.
I think that when I decide, and I think I finally decided I'm just not running it back
Yeah.
to no one.
That's
No,
good.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Okay. So have you ever run it back?
Yeah, just told you.
Oh, right.
For 5
exactly.
years,
You
I
just
ran it
literally
back.
Just said that. Yeah.
And the ex before him, I ran it back like for a few months.
Yeah.
I think for me, would you count like, somebody you just kind of messing with and then you're like, haven't messed with them and you're like, oh, I won't mess with him again.
But if he wasn't your ex, no, then
No,
it's
right?
It's like have it ran. We were
Running it back
right
is like
to
with
your
a
ex.
relationship.
I mean, it is running it back to whatever that situation is, but in this, what we're talking about is exes. So that's what I mean. Yeah. So no.
Never have.
Oh, okay. Okay. Pretty good. I've run it back a couple times.
How long were you running it back for? Run back?
Well, I was actually in a full blown relationship, like for 5 years.
But you were on and off. You were back and forth, no?
I was always saying it's complicated, but we were very much in a relationship.
So you were on more than off.
I was in denial because I was embarrassed that I was with this person because of like the mistakes they kept making. So I didn't want to say that I was in a relationship publicly because I honestly cared too much about what people thought.
Interesting.
So I would just be like, it's complicated, when in reality I was in a full-blown relationship. We were
I
sleeping
feel
together
that.
every single day.
I
You know
did
what
the
I'm
same
saying?
thing.
Yeah, so I would just say like, oh, we're this, but in reality we were together. I just was, too prideful to be, honest with people about where I was at.
You know what's so funny about that?
What?
Is everyone knew.
Exactly. So it was all in my head.
She over here like, no, we not together. And we're like, yeah, she with him.
He walk in.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm like, y'all ain't fooling nobody. Like everyone just knew. Like we just considered y'all. That's it. Like y'all were together. Like that's how we considered.
Yeah.
It.
Because everybody knew. Yeah, it was me that was in denial.
And like every time, like it would come up in a conversation, it'd be like, mm-hmm.
I like that was the season where I cared too much about like
That's
what
not
others
funny.
thought.
I didn't even know that was the reason.
Yeah, I cared too much. Well, because I like reflection. I got to think back and be like, damn, I just cared too much.
I mean, y'all good running backs. Y'all playing on a football team, okay?
Hey, running back. That's
Jeez.
fact.
What team y'all playing for?
The Giants.
Did y'all make it to the motherfucking Super Bowl with that shit at least?
Oh, we made it nowhere. Obviously, that's why we're here.
Oh
Single.
my God.
Crazy.
Which ex has been the hardest to deal with?
Yeah, you got.
You
it.
can go
You
first.
got the scoreboard.
No, that's you.
Don't actually say which ex. Just say like, you
Well,
know.
No,
would
we're not
never.
saying names.
I
No,
would
no,
never.
no.
I would never. You're welcome.
Nah, I would say my last ex was the what was like you said the hardest.
Yeah,
the
like just the
to deal
hardest
with.
to deal with.
Yeah, I went through the most with this ex. Yeah, the most recent one.
I think for me, each one had something. Like, I don't know if one was harder than the other.
Yeah.
But if I'm honest with myself, maybe the last one was hardest. I think they put me through more. I'll say that.
Yeah.
They put me through more.
That's
Whereas
what I mean. Yeah.
the other one, it was still hard. Like I don't even want to tolerate any of what the other one did too. But it was just, this one was just like, motherfucking stop. Non-stop. I was like, what more are you gonna do?
Right.
Yeah,
How about you?
always something new.
Oh my God.
The last one for sure was the hardest. I mean, 5 years back and forth.
Yeah.
Should have been out.
Yeah. The phone calls. I remember those phone calls. I'd be like, that what?
Like when I called you,
Yeah, when you would call me in tears and
I called everybody crying. At
Yeah.
some point, I had to stop calling people, and I would just hide. It was bad.
Damn, yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah, you were going through it.
I'm not proud of that chapter, but hey, here we are, healing.
Healing. So what lessons have you learned from each relationship?
So many. From each.
Or like
Because-
a overall
reflection.
reflection. What have I learned?
So what I did learn in my most upcoming weeks was about so I got to see, as I've told y'all, like basically the patterns I kept repeating. So what I did learn from each and every single one of them, because every relationship, it was like a manifestation of, I guess, what was going on inside me. I learned that I base my worth on, I guess, how they feel about me or like the choices they make. Even if their choices have nothing to do with me, their choices are all about them, I base my worth off of them. Off of it. So like that's what I learned, and basically unlearning that, because their choices have absolutely nothing to do with me. And the way that I feel based off their choices had nothing to do with them. It was really everything that, was going on inside of me. So that was a tough lesson to crack. Yeah.
How about you?
Very, very much the same thing. Yeah, like basing my value, my worth based on how my ex treated me or mistreated me, and even after still going back, because I just wanted to constantly redeem myself from the heartache by going back to the same person who broke my heart in the first place, and just I realized my patterns are, I've always attracted either unhealed or emotionally unavailable people who aren't, completely, or even who aren't emotionally mature. And I'm like, You know, part of that is my problem. I learned that I am the problem too, because as much as I let them come back, or I even went back willingly, I've learned that I have to heal from a lot of shit. I have to heal from a lot of trauma. And this goes back to childhood and everything, and all the unhealthy, toxic patterns I have to break, even within myself, because I can't keep attracting these kind of partners. And so here I am.
Here you are.
I learned that I have very much codependency.
Yeah, some of the lessons I've learned were like, I've learned that I'm not present enough. I wasn't present enough in those relationships, and that's something that I'm working on. I don't know if I have it down to a T, but I'm way better now. I can feel that, although I haven't been in a relationship to test it out, right? But I learned that. I learned that I have codependent tendencies, and I'm working through that in this moment in my life. I thrive in relationship, and I don't like that because I like to fix and lead, but I don't lead myself. You know what I mean? It's almost like I have developed habits. I grew up doing the martial arts, and I was always in a leadership position, and I somehow just try to find someone to lead, and I don't like that. Like I want to be led.
Yeah,
I want to see what that's like, or have a interdependency, right? You have someone who's dependent, you have independence, you have codependency, but interdependency is probably the level I'm seeking. And then what else have I learned? I learned there's just so much. It kind of goes back into what you guys were saying, that a lot of the things that happen internally is a reflection of the relationship that you're attracting. So if we were to go into that, what were the moments in your relationship from each ex that you feel internally was going on, that it came out through your partner? You know, like if you could pinpoint it out, I can go first on that if you want. But like, I realized that I wasn't taking care of me. Like I have had a habit since I was a child. Like this last breakup made me look through every relationship going back to a child, just my relationship with my parents.
right.
And I realized that I had such a fear of disappointing someone that I would yes everything. And I never did what I wanted or felt like I even knew what I wanted. I allowed that to be decided from a child. And so I just followed that path into my relationships. I put the person first. It's about you. How can I aid you? And then let's forget about me for a second. I did that with my father, with my stepmom, and then with my ex-husband, and then with my girlfriends, you know what I mean? And I struggled with that. And so the reason why I wasn't so present in the last relationships is because I was like fighting this thing inside. And I was like, I'm gonna do this for me, because I feel like I never do. And so now I'm trying to find that balance. But I feel like because I was such a people pleaser, and so putting myself, behind, I attracted people who, take advantage of that, I feel, and maybe aren't as self-equipped to, I don't know, I don't want to say lead or I'm always looking for someone to fix, because I'm not fixing me.
But that's part of codependency. It's like we want something to fix to avoid us having to do the work that we actually have to do within ourselves.
Right.
That's what codependency is.
Exactly.
For myself, I would say because of like childhood stuff, like trauma that I have with my father, I always seek to be chosen by men, because I felt like my father didn't choose me. So it's like I felt like it. I don't really know that my father wasn't choosing me, right? I'm a kid. I feel like my dad is doing these things. And so because he's not communicative, I'm creating my own narrative in my story. So my father doesn't choose me because X, Y, and Z. So now I'm going to go seek that, to be chosen, to be enough, because my father, I always felt like I wasn't enough for my father. I always felt like my dad didn't choose me. I felt like my dad didn't love me enough. And so I wanted I was going after men who made me feel like my father did. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the same. Like I was just mirroring that. And even though these men maybe were choosing me and were loving me and were doing these things, I would have never felt it because I didn't feel that within myself.
Right.
So had I actually felt those things within myself, had my relationship went differently, perhaps. Would I have attracted differently? Maybe. But I think I had to go through a period where I realized, like, God had to tell me, like, I am your father. And because of me, you are already loved. Because of me, you are already all these things. You're already worthy. You're already deserving. Stop seeking it externally. And that's why this keeps manifesting for you, because you keep seeking it from a man. You keep seeking it from other people versus seeking it from yourself.
Yeah.
And seeking it from me and understanding that I already see you as perfect.
Yeah.
And I know that now. So I'm not running that back. You know what I'm saying? I'm not.
Yes.
I can't attract anything now that's not that,
100%.
because I know that. I have the awareness now. I was moving with unawareness, and now I have the awareness to know, like, okay, I could do better now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah.
I feel all of that. Everything both of you said is all of what I've reflected and understood as far as my own patterns and like feeling like I'm not enough. And I realized, like, even, doing some therapy and things like that, it goes back to childhood when my father wasn't around, and I feel like he never actually came to look for me. Because, I mean, granted, my mother and I left him. I was like 5 or 6 years old. But he never went out of his way to really come find me. And that always hurt. And I carried that with me through my relationships. And so when I got into these unhealthy relationships, I was hoping that even after my partner fucked up, he would fight for me, because my father never fought for me, And so I'm like, okay, my partner's going to do better now. I have faith that, he's going to fight for me now. It's, a learning lesson. But it was always one thing after another, and it was always another disappointment. And then I finally learned, after all of the heartache, I'm the one that has to fight for myself. And so in order to do that, I have to set the boundaries. I have to realize what I deserve and what I'm not willing to settle for and deal with anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, man.
It's deep.
Same. It's just interesting that, at first I was like pointing the blame, and although that doesn't take away from the shit that was done.
Right.
But there's such a beautiful aha moment when you realize you attracted this, This is a decision you made. You brought this person into your life. You allowed it. You allowed all of this because of those things. You didn't put the boundaries because of self-worth, because you're people pleasing, all these things. And it's like, man, I'm trying to become the best version of me, so I attract the best version of someone.
Exactly.
Right.
100%.
100%.
What's the craziest thing one of your exes ever did?
We're really going there? Oh my God. Oh my God.
The craziest thing.
Oh my God.
Go ahead, Cass.
No, go ahead, E. You asked it. You answered it.
You want me to go first?
I would love for you to go first.
So one of the craziest. Well, I guess this is not that crazy because I guess this happens every day to people. But my ex slept with a friend.
Nah, you need to tell the story. That shit funny as fuck.
Wow.
Okay, so first and foremost, this wasn't my friend. She was his friend first. And I met her through him and his buddy. So his buddy and this girl had just moved to California. And I befriended her because I was like, she's new. I was like, she's a young girl. And I was naive, in thinking like, you know, like this girl was honest and she told me like a couple of things that she's done, but I'm like chucking it up to the fact that she's young. I was like, oh girl, I've been there. I know what that's like. Cool. You can't, there's no way you can do these things to me. Don't know why I thought that. So she and the buddy ended up breaking up. Buddy ended up moving back to wherever he's from. And she ended up sleeping with my man. And I found out months later. So when I found out, I'm like, okay. When she told me, she knew it was because I was going nuts. Somehow I was going nuts. I think I need to leave. You know, I don't know what to do. I'm making this shit up on my head. You know, I'm like just driving myself insane. And then she's finally like, you know what? Just be honest with you. I said, I'm going to start the year off like with the truth. And the truth is like me and your man slept together. And I was like, no effing way, you know, no effing way. And then she was like, and I know he would do it again. Ooh. And I was like, how you know? She's like, because I know he would. And I was like, let's put it to the test because I'm crazy. So she texts him and she tells him like, hey, like you should come over tonight, something XYZ. He already know. He on game. He called like, where you at? Like, you know, like, well, why are you texting me this? Because he knew it was a setup. He knew the whole time it was a setup and still fell for the trap.
And still went through
with it.
Whoa.
So, yeah, she was like, oh, no, nothing. Like, da-da-da. He's like, well, how you know that I wasn't with Efran? And she's like, well, I called her and I seen like she's all sad. And, you know, she tried to play it. She's like, she's all sad. And I just I just don't even want to deal with her energy. You know, I just wanted you to come over. Da-da-da-da. He's like, give me a second. So I was like, girl, let's get out my house because he's about to FaceTime you. He's about to check. He's about to check where you at. Mm-hmm. So boom, we head to her house. And as soon as we get there, he FaceTimes. And he's like, show me your house. Because he knew I was in there. He had the feeling.
This is a movie, bro.
So she's flips the FaceTime and I'm like crawling behind her. So he will like, so every time she's turning, like, you won't see me.
Was risking it all.
He was risking it all. And she had a studio apartment. So, you know, it was like a quick. And then he's like, okay, I'll be there shortly. So boom, I hide behind a mirror. He pulls up. He's in there. And he's like, you could tell he's like lurking, like checking the house. He's drunk. He's checking the house and, you know, and he goes to wash his hands, prepping himself. And he starts talking about me. Like, yeah, like, how you know, like, I wasn't with Efran and stuff like that. And then she's like, oh, well, you know, like, I saw her energy. You know, I talked to her earlier and I was just like, like, what is she going through? And he's like, man, she won't get over the past. She thinks I'm out here cheating and, oh, not while you at the crib.
Now why you out here trying to cheat? Oh my
God.
God.
Ready to cheat, right? And then she's like, you know, he's like, why, you know, you can't call me like that. Cause like, what if I would have been with her? What would you have said? And then I forgot what she said. Boom. So then she says, I want to mess around. And he's like, I can't mess around with you, but I'll watch you enjoy yourself, basically. So, she's like, okay, so are you going to do anything? He's like, I'll watch you. I'll just watch you. So basically she pulls out a toy and she's, you know, doing her own thing to herself. And then she asks him like, you know, like, pull it out and let me just see you, like, you do your own thing with you.
Yeah.
And then he did. So like basically she was having a good time with herself and then he was like watching and obviously doing his own thing. And then I was recording and I popped out the cut and it was a movie. Got tased. I had to tase him, all types of crazy stuff. I sent the video to his friends because his friends thought I was crazy.
Damn.
I was like, nah, you're not going to make me look crazy. Yeah. And
I can't believe you tased him. You got a video of you tasing him?
No, I don't got a video of me tasing him.
Oh, I wish I could have saw that.
I wish I would have got a video of me tasing him.
Oh my goodness. What a movie, bro.
It was a movie. It was a whole movie. Yeah, it was crazy.
I'm dead. That's crazy.
That's pretty crazy, yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay, now how about y'all?
Go ahead, Jazz.
Let's talk about it.
I mean, I don't know. My exes did a lot of crazy things. It's hard to put my finger on which one's the craziest. One ex chased me down the parking lot after I like threw gumbo on his floor and broke up with him. But I mean, that wasn't that crazy because he didn't get to me. I don't know what he was gonna do chasing me. Another ex subscribed to my friend's OnlyFans, and some girl he used to fuck.
Oh my God.
And on top of that, also subscribed to a friend of his who was a dwarf. My ex subscribed to some dwarfs OnlyFans. And
Stop.
No, yeah, he did. And nothing against dwarfs, you know, but I just thought it was kind of crazy because he was friends with her, and I kind of sensed something, and I was like, all right, did you and her like talk or something? Because there was, you know, we were not together, but we were together at the time, so I was kind of, you know, lurking a little bit, and I'm like, why you liking all of her booty shaking stuff? And you know, I'm not gonna say no names.
Wild.
You're welcome. But
Hilarious.
he definitely subscribed to her OnlyFans, and I definitely felt some type of way about it. I'm like, whoa, I didn't know you were into that, but I mean,
Hilarious.
That's wild.
Yeah.
that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
And my
It's getting
friends.
crazy.
Yeah, no, that's wild.
Yeah.
The friends is crazy.
My friends' OnlyFans. I'm like, that's crazy. You out here being off to my friends.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, I guess it is my turn.
Yep. Only one left.
I had one ex was like just didn't make sense, like opening the door in the middle of the highway, like yeah, like just
For what?
I don't know. Like yeah, we were in an argument, but like what were you gonna do?
I'm gonna throw you out.
Yeah, like I don't understand, you know. Just driving me insane in that way. Like why are we having this argument? Like trying to go to the airport like completely butt naked in a robe, like just weird stuff. I don't understand why, what was going on. But another ex just lied a lot, like lied so much about anything and everything. And I think the worst of them was making out with a sibling of mine and didn't tell me for years, you know what I mean? And like that, it just completely messed me up. It just makes me go like, what more? Because when I tell you, it was like they were like a serial liar. Like I don't know why. I don't understand. But it's like like it was just lie after lie, and they were all pretty shocking. But I would get over it and get over it and get over it, and then this one was the motherfucking cherry on top. But it still makes me think, what else do I not know?
Yeah.
Like it still makes me think that. But because it was such a big one, I have completely like in my mind, I don't really care anymore of what other things I don't know. Like this is enough, and like no more, like just no more.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably the worst
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
thing. Worst thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then tried to deny it still. Like they lied on top of the lie. Like I don't get it. I just don't understand.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Liars be lying. Okay, so what was the craziest thing that y'all ever done to an ex?
The craziest.
I'll go
thing?
since
I'll go
still-
last.
Okay.
No, you go first because it sounds like you got something juicy.
I'm trying to think of which one was the craziest.
Holy guacamole.
Go ahead, girl.
I keyed an ex's car once.
Okay.
Pretty crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, not too bad.
Is that it? No, you was gonna say something else.
I backhand slapped an ex once.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He deserved it.
Pimp slapped him.
That is crazy. A backhand. Did you have any jewelry on?
No.
Okay.
But it got his cheek real good.
Did he hit you back?
No, I
God.
ran and closed the bathroom door behind me.
Yeah, you knew better.
Yeah, that's
It
insane.
be girls like you.
Yeah.
Get their ass beat and let me
He disrespected me and called me out my name, all right? So that
Put
hand
your
just flew
hands
back.
That hand flew.
That hand flew. I couldn't control it.
She said, eres un desgraciado.
She was in a novela, yeah. That's all the novelas be doing.
That's funny. How about you, Cass?
I think the worst thing I ever done to an ex, I wasn't completely honest about a situation that had happened between a open moment that I had. You know, we had an openness, and so I was allowed to do it, but I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to tell them because I was low, man. I was really at a low point. I was at a point where like there were so many lies and so many things going on that I was just like, I also haven't healed from the previous relationship, and I just felt like I want to know what it's like to just be bad and lie and do something wrong without giving two thoughts about the other person's feelings, because that's what I felt like kept happening to me in both relationships. And I was like, I want to be the one that doesn't care,
right?
So I'm gonna try that, and I did it, and I was like really adamant about it, and while it was happening, more lies, and I was like, well, then I'm gonna do it again, and like I was just like this. I just wanted to prove to myself that I could be bad too.
Yeah.
Not happy about it. I came clean eventually, and I hated the feeling after, and I will never do that again, because now I'm at a point where that was selfish, and I don't want to do two wrongs to make it right. I don't want to be the selfish one. You know, if I'm ever in a situation where I feel like someone keeps doing something to me and I'm feeling like, why am I the good person? One, I don't want to attract that, but if I am ever in that situation, I'm just not gonna tolerate it. Be gone. Instead of trying to redeem it by doing something bad back. That doesn't make sense. 100%. And I get why I did it, but it doesn't make sense.
What about you, Crazy E?
Yeah, go ahead.
Crazy
Talk about what you
E.
did.
Well, I think the craziest thing I ever done was set my ex up.
That's pretty wild.
Pretty crazy. That is pretty.
That's pretty wild.
I know, that's pretty toxic. I just needed to know. You just need to know. And then one other ex, I would say like I just slashed his tires 3, because I heard if you do the 4th one, the insurance covers it. So I just made sure I did 3.
Wow, the level of pettiness.
I was young then too, y'all. I was 20. No, actually I was 19.
Gosh.
Yeah, it was
Damn. Yeah. Actually, I might have did something a little more crazy or messed up than what I had said initially. I did, but this was high school. But this was, this was my ex in high school who I lost my virginity to. And I had trust issues already in high school. And for some reason, I just did not trust him. I didn't feel safe with this ex. I feel like he didn't care about me. So I went and let his best friend go down on me.
Wow.
I did. I didn't kiss him, but he went down on me. You might as well have.
No,
He kissed you already.
I love how
He
she
kissed
said
you.
it like I love how
You
she
didn't
said
kiss
it like it made it slightly better. I didn't kiss him though.
He kissed you though.
He made out with you.
And yeah, I did that, and I realized later on in life that was definitely like me just self-sabotaging something because of whatever reason. Either I didn't trust him. I wanted to mess up the relationship before he would, or and I wanted to see if he even cared. It was a messed up way to see if he cared, but yeah. So I did that.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever self-sabotaged a relationship?
Yeah.
No.
I have.
How?
Well, after said going back a couple times to someone, like this person actually attempted to change and was doing his best to be better, but I was expecting him to be perfect, and therefore I ended up sabotaging the relationship because after a certain point I noticed that I couldn't stop reliving the fear of
what had happened.
So I lived in that constant fear that it was going to happen every single day. Waking up with that, like, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, to the point where I couldn't even operate because...
I mean, I get it, though.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, that's a lot.
It is a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah.
And so I believe that I knew that I wanted this person, And even though he actually did the things that you would want someone to do when you ask someone to like change, I couldn't see that change, you know?
Yeah.
So like I ended up sabotaging the end of the relationship, even though I was fighting for the relationship for like, you know, but I really wasn't fighting at some point. I was just scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that I think of it, though, I guess the moment where the worst thing I ever did to my ex might have been a self-sabotage thing.
Yeah.
That might have been that, actually, because I was fed up. I was fed up with the constant hurt. I was fed up with the constant abuse of trust that I don't think I had it in me to end it. I almost was like, and I hope they find out. You know what I mean? A little bit.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but I think through that experience, I didn't like the way I felt. I didn't like the feeling at all. And then I started to reflect and do some inner work. And I had made the conscious choice, like, no, I want to be with this person. And I'm going to work it out. And I'm going to stick it through. But they were not changing. They continued to behave the way that they did. And I just kept taking the fucking punches.
Yeah.
You know, and I would still bring it to their awareness. Like, but what's going on? And I hadn't come clean yet, though. You know what I mean? Because I was trying to brush it under the rug, what I did, and forget that I was trying to self-sabotage and actually try to make it work. And when I saw that it just wasn't working, that I ended it. But it makes sense that might have been self-sabotage for me.
You?
I mean,
that,
when
you did
I
say that. That's true.
when I am,
Yeah.
I might have did it again with my other high school ex. I kissed his girl cousin.
Lord.
Golly. Golly.
Fix it, Jesus.
Jesus, God is fixing it.
Yeah.
Trust.
Yeah, no, you're...
I'm not that person I was in high school.
No,
okay? She was a
definitely-
savage.
Yeah, I definitely see change and growth in you. Like,
Yeah.
hearing
Thank
them
you.
stories, I'm
Yeah.
like, you're not like that at
No,
all.
no. Not without consent.
I agree. I concur. Do you guys keep in touch with exes? With any of your exes?
I'm the type to keep in touch with an ex or two.
Do you still keep in touch with exes?
I have exes that if I see them, I will, like, it's always love. Like, I don't know what that is about me, but I don't care to have no hate to block. You know, like, if I have to block you at first, cool. But, like, I loved you. Why am I going to be, you know what I'm saying? You were somebody I loved at one point.
Yeah.
So it's like, why am I going to, like, harbor anything towards you? So, yeah, if any ex were to reach out to me, hi.
Yeah.
Like, it's no love lost.
But are you in contact with them? Like,
Do you keep up with
them?
them?
Do you keep up with them? Do you talk to them? Do you?
Am I keeping up with exes? No, I'm not keeping up with no exes. No.
Yeah, I don't keep up with exes. I mean, there's maybe one ex who will contact me here and there, and I'm just like, hey, you know, what's up? I keep it short. You know, they be trying to be real buddy, but I'm not. I keep boundaries with my exes. So even if I keep in contact with them, I keep boundaries.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they be mad about them boundaries, but hey, that's not my fault.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think so. I don't keep in contact with exes. Usually, I don't have any ill feelings towards them. Like, I have to stay in touch with one because we haven't finalized everything. And then the other one, I was, because things were also not finalized with certain things. But recently I have made the conscious decision to just no. And once things are finalized with the other ex, I don't see myself ever really talking to them.
Right.
But yeah, no, I'm not in communication with an ex.
How do you guys feel about your partners keeping in contact with their exes?
No.
Oh, but you could keep in contact with yours.
Okay. Let me rephrase that. Okay.
Yeah, what's going on over here?
Because I don't mean keep in contact. Like, I'm not keeping in contact with exes where it's like you can text me all the time and it's that where we're like that. When I say like I can still be friends with exes, like if I see you outside, it's all love. Hey, what's up? How you doing? How you been? We can have that kind of conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And even if you just so happen to just check up on me, we can do that. I don't mind having a conversation like that here and there. I don't think men
should be able to do that.
I just don't. like, unless you know you have like a real disciplined man who is like, I'm completely over my ex. But a lot of men don't be over their exes.
Interesting.
So it's like, why even keep it? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like women actually, when they choose to move on, sometimes they actually do move on. Men have a lingering thought, like, I remember how good this used to be. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. I just don't know. Like, if you see a person, if my man has an ex and he sees her outside, don't act like she don't exist.
Right.
Acknowledge her. Hey, yeah, whatever. Say what's up. You know, talk to her. But like, there's no reason why you should be initiating conversations with your ex.
Right.
Right.
You shouldn't be initiating.
Yeah,
I have no control over what your ex does.
For sure. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think you made it clear.
Just make sure. Because I know it sounds backwards. It sounds like a double standard.
But it definitely did.
Like, yeah.
For the record,
I'll keep in contact with an ex that's not like super keeping in contact with. If that makes sense.
Okay.
It's just this blurred lines.
What about you, Cass?
I don't. I think that's so circumstantial.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't say like no, negative forever or anything. You know, I think if there's ties, children, whatever, just any type of tie, obviously you have to. What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think it depends on the situation. What kind of ex? You know, how it ended. Just, I need to know the whole situation. If like they're still in your life and the family, like they're a friend. I don't know. You grew up together. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But I would say for the majority of circumstances, because those are exceptions.
Yeah.
And for the majority of circumstances, no. Like, why? And you definitely shouldn't be reaching out. Why do you care? If I think that I would have less of a problem if we were like just dating. But if I'm in a committed relationship and we're doing life together, we chose one another, and this is it. This is what we chose. This is what we decided. Why are we bringing old shit back?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, no need.
For what? I feel that. I feel both, actually, because based on my experience, my ex was kind of keeping in contact with his ex in the beginning of the relationship, and I was like, why? I was like, I'm not comfortable with that, and I expressed how I felt about it, and so he said, okay, I won't anymore. But like, that was already a red flag that I should have not ignored, and I just thought, oh yeah, he was closing a chapter, closure, blah blah blah, right? Okay, sure. Come to find out later, he went and looked for her in the middle of our relationship. So,
damn. Oof.
That definitely, yeah.
No.
So,
that just triggered me.
Yeah, exactly. So when it comes to when it comes to partners keeping in contact with their exes, because of my experience, I'm not comfortable with it, especially if it's like your last ex, if it's that fresh.
Yeah.
No, I do
sure.
not. If you're going to do that, you're not for me.
No, and then now that you say that, it reminds me that, yeah, that's why I say no. My ex was damn near in love with his ex while he was in love with me.
Whoa.
Yeah, the beginning of the relationship, he was still in love with this girl, or loved this girl,
yeah,
and was keeping in contact with her.
Yeah. That's a dangerous game.
That's a dangerous game.
Why do we have similar love stories?
Facts.
And for the same time period? It's kind of crazy.
It is. Y'all mirror each other.
He was running it back to the ex.
That's wild.
But I can also kind of understand if they're, circumstantial, if there's kids involved, or like if for sure it's just a friendship after like an ex from 10 years ago. Oh, and they're just, but I feel like you'll feel.
Of course.
It's, so.
And the guy's going to be honest about that. He's like, hey, da-da-da-da-da. And that's the difference between a man and a boy, because he's going to tell you exactly what it is.
Word.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The other men are going to play around and toy with it and be doing what they do with their exes.
For real.
Mm-hmm. All right. So how much space do you guys usually take in between relationships? Like, well, granted, you were from kid adult to adult.
I know. I just been in a relationship my whole adult life. This is the first time I'm single since I was 18 years old. So I'm trying to take as long as I need. Mm-hmm. And I know I'm a lover girl. I'm a relationship girl. So what I don't want is to feel something immediately latch. I want to really, really make sure I'm attracting someone who is at my level, spiritually, mentally, even physically. Like, do you take care of yourself? Like, I want someone who really matches my energy. I don't want to have to train nobody up and teach them how to live in their fullest potential. I want somebody who's in their potential and constantly evolving to grow. So if I don't feel it, I don't see it, I'm gonna take as long as I need. I really don't know.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I take a good amount of time to be alone, because I need that.
Yeah.
To be single and alone.
I feel that.
So, but I don't have anything to compare that to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
So
I feel like the old me didn't take no time because I was just hopping from relationship to relationship or situationship.
what was the amount of time though? Like, what was the
Maybe like a few months in between.
Okay.
Like
3 to 5?
3 to 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 to 4 maybe. Maybe 5 occasionally, but definitely did not give myself any time, any space to heal in between each one, which is what I'm trying to do now, which is what I'm realizing, which is like now I'm like, okay, been a year and some change since I've been single. I dated a bit here and there, but like I'm not looking, I'm really not searching. I'm not even, I'm so focused right now on my work and what I want to pursue and just catering to myself, loving myself and doing all the things that I love. And I'm just like, I'm not ready. I know that I'm not fully healed. And I see that when the few times I do date these guys, it shows up and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
let me go heal some more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine.
This is the longest you've taken in between a relationship.
This has been the longest I've taken, yes, single.
Wow.
Because I'll have situationships in between. And even that is some kind of a relationship, right? And granted, I did like briefly like date somebody right after my last relationship, but it was very brief and it didn't become very serious. So
Right.
and I realized too, even dating her, I understood that I still need to heal and I'm not even ready to get serious with anybody. So we knew to keep those boundaries and give each other that space.
Wow. And you're glowing now. Like, this is incredible. You give me hope. I'm like,
Really?
absolutely. I'm like, okay, cool. Just stick it out, Cass. Keep working on yourself, because the amount of self-love that you have since I've known you and the amount of peace you have, confidence that you have, security and assurance in yourself. Like, I'm seeking to be there.
Girl.
That's crazy that you don't feel like you're there, because I feel like you're there.
I mean, I feel like I'm close to it. I have done a lot of work. Don't get me wrong, but there's still moments. There's still moments that I see in you that I'm like, okay, I want to get there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you will. And it's going to be amazing. I promise you both, you're going to love it over here. It's a whole new...
Yeah.
This ain't even fully me yet. I'm not even her yet.
Ooh,
I'm just learning her.
Ooh,
Yeah.
keep our eyes
I'm like, who
peeled.
is this?
Okay.
Who is this?
Tune
I'm shedding
in.
skins,
Okay, I'm tuning in. I'm Rosie.
Yeah.
But seriously, this is the most confident I have ever felt in a long time, and it's because I'm guarding my energy.
Yeah, it's
Love
beautiful.
that.
How about you? You didn't answer, did you?
What was the question again?
How long you take between?
Oh, right. How long do I take between? The most I took in between a relationship was 2 years.
Oh, nice.
But like at first, I was like my first, and then I hopped into another relationship right after situationship. Then when I moved here, it's like I had no choice but to take a break because I didn't know anyone here. So when I moved here, I was single at first, and then I met someone who I was with, and then when I broke up with that guy, 2 days later, I met my ex. So like, usually, had I not moved here, I wouldn't have really had no space,
Right?
Because I probably would have found something else back home. Yeah.
Wow. And then, so since you're newly single, how long do you anticipate? Not that there has to be
A date,
but like, what's your intention? You know what I mean? Like, are you feeling like you're gonna hop into something quickly, or do you feel like you want to take your time también?
No, I'm definitely taking my time. I'm celibate, so like it's like this is about me, giving my body to God, um, so He can make it do what it do.
How long have you been celibate for?
November, I made my celibacy pact to myself with November 6th, so it'll be till May 6th.
Okay.
Yeah, till May 6th. That'll be 6 months. But, if I could decide to continue it, I decide to continue it. If not, then, whatever. But I want to be single for at least a year before, like, I actually, decide to, like, chop it up with anyone or, like, really, like, intentionally date.
Right.
Right now, like I said, I'm open to meeting people. But intentionally date, I want to wait for a while, for sure.
Yeah.
But, I don't know what he be having planned.
Right.
Because I could say a year.
It could go any which way.
It could go any which way, and I'm okay with whichever way.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Do y'all believe in soulmates?
Yep.
You do? Hmm? Do you believe in one soulmate, or do you believe that you could have multiple?
So far I've only had one, so I don't know, but I've heard that you can have multiple soulmates.
Yeah.
But I believe that I have already met one soulmate.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you?
I believe that you can have multiple soulmates.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I mean, I even believe, like, to a sense, to a degree, that we are even soulmates. Like, friendships are soulmates. Even, like, family relationships, family members can be soulmates.
Yeah. Everyone can be soulmate. But you would know, though.
It's like,
the thing is, when someone is your soulmate.
Yeah, when it comes to partner,
not just romantically, you would know when it is a sister. You would know when it is a friend, because you would feel it. The feeling of a soulmate. Yeah.
I agree.
This is my soulmate, because they're reflecting back at you your bullshit.
Yeah.
And then you're healing it with them.
Yeah. Or
after them. However, right?
I see.
Yeah. I feel like even my ex was probably a soulmate that I had. Mm-hmm. We had to, teach each other some shit. Mm-hmm. And, it's cool. We were so tied for a minute, but
yeah.
Yeah, I believe in soulmates for sure. I think that, I think both of the loves were soulmates for the season that it was required. And yeah, so I think there are multiple soulmates for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious to see who God got lined up for me next. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, who's the next soulmate in this new, healed, greater version of ourselves?
Yeah.
Would you guys ever take any ex back, like, years after a breakup?
I would.
You'd have to be a completely new person.
Exactly. 100%. I ain't taking my ex. I ain't taking.
I'm not taking my ex back.
I ain't taking the past back. Yeah.
They just got the same name.
You gonna know, because, like, I feel like if a person comes up to me, I'm not gonna knock one. If I change, you can change.
For sure.
So
exactly.
I would never knock that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know that if I write down in my journal, God, make this, this is the kind of man I want, and he goes and sifts and sorts through one person in my past and brings them back to me, I ask, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I get it. Mm-hmm. You have to be just a completely new person. That's it. That's all I gotta say. Like, if you still the same shit, no.
Yeah, but the only way they would be the same shit is if you do the same shit. That's what I'm saying.
I guess, but that's not necessarily true, right? Because in the same aspect, in the growth that I've had.
But that's what I'm saying.
And
you
that
wouldn't
person
take them back, though, because you would already be healed. You would only take them back if you saw that they were.
Basically, you're saying they would either have to match where I'm at, or I go back down, or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I don't think I want to take any of my exes back, honestly. I feel like, we learned what we needed to. Now, if by some miracle of God, I saw a change in my last ex and the chemistry was still there, and I really felt like he was a man and he did the work and all of that, and he's actually, financially secure in a better place overall, maybe think about it.
So you would.
I think what's interesting about this question is, like, because you reflect on what you had, and it's like you take the good moments and then you just match it with, like, a healed version of them, and you're like, oh, this would be great. However, the longer I spend being single, the more I'm like realizing what I want is starting to change. And they don't even fit that.
That's true. You know
know
what?
what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm not fully there. So that's why I can say, like, you got to be completely different. And then, maybe I consider it. But I don't know. But it's like the more I'm here, I'm seeing a life for myself that just has a completely different idea. And I'm like, I don't know. And if I continue to nurture that, I might end up at a point where I'm like, nope, I would never.
You also don't have that many exes.
I don't. But
right.
I know.
You don't have that many options. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wouldn't take my ex back. I take that back. I wouldn't even think about it because honestly, he was too controlling, and I don't like to be controlled to the point where, you know, my partner's trying to tell me what to wear or what I can post on social media and things like that. And someone that controlling, I don't think you can really change that. Because once they feel like that already, that's an insecurity. Like, there's a lot of work to be done.
Yeah.
So I rather not even.
Open the door.
Yeah.
I'm good.
And here's the thing too, is like, sometimes I also question, no matter how much you and I both have changed, maybe we just bring out something out of each other. Maybe there's just this thing that happens because it's just the two of us. It's like we're the two variables equal that equation.
But then you wouldn't be taking them back then. You
know I know. But I'm just saying, like, even if it was a changed version, even if we were the best versions of ourselves, like maybe we're the best versions of ourselves and can live in that with only other people. Maybe we can't even, maybe it's not even meant to be the best version of ourselves with each other. Maybe that's not even, it's not even a possibility. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like,
that's the point of exes.
Yeah.
They make you better for the next person.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Or you would hope so.
Yeah.
Or they make you worse. It depends how you choose to take it.
How you move. Yeah.
Have you guys ever been addicted to an ex? Like, have you ever had like a love addiction or relationship addiction?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think I was addicted to my last ex. And I didn't know how to function without them. I needed them. I had a hard time moving on from them. It wasn't good. It wasn't healthy. And I remember saying to myself, like, I want to get to a point where I know I'm good by myself. And if I still want you, then I know then I know that that's a good choice. You know what I mean? But, no, at this point, I have no addictions to nobody. I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm addicted to me.
Period.
It's great.
Me, I feel like perhaps I've been addicted maybe once. Maybe once I've been addicted to an ex, yeah.
Yeah?
Was it the last one?
I don't think I was addicted to him.
You don't think that was kind of an addiction?
No, I don't think that was an addiction.
With the amount of runbacks you had?
No. Again, I don't think that was an addiction. That was, like I said, it was an unworthiness thing. Yeah. Like, I don't think I was addicted to that person because it's not like it's not that I couldn't live without them. Like, I knew that I could live without them. I wanted that person to be different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew that person could be what I saw. You know what I'm saying? Had he taken the steps that he was taking, but then I couldn't see that person. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that I was addicted to that person.
Okay.
Yeah, like I know. Okay. I was addicted once, and that was the guy who had the girl.
Yeah.
I was addicted to him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and he put me through stuff, and I was just addicted. I was dumb.
That addiction be making you blind. Obsession be making you dumb.
Yeah,
bro.
I was really dumb.
I look back and I'm like, damn, I was really dumb.
Yeah, 100%.
I was definitely addicted to my ex. For 5 years. I mean, you know, like running it back, you know, because it felt like I was going through withdrawals at some point. Like I would have withdrawals to the point, like it was a drug. It felt like a drug, and sure there was love there too, but it was mostly just like that chemical addiction of constantly having that person, being used to that person. It was sex, it was comfort, it was, this is the person that I'm used to, and I don't want to look for anything else. I don't want to start over anywhere. It was settling where there was trauma, you know, just being addicted to this kind of lifestyle that I knew wasn't good for me, but I would seriously, it felt like a drug. Like I couldn't go too long without it. And I feel like I'm sober today. I literally feel like I'm sober from a drug addiction.
Wow.
And it's crazy. But I mean, it was so bad to the point that even after doing therapy, my therapist suggested I go to an SLAA meeting. My therapist suggested that I attend this meeting.
Wow.
Which is Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous.
Wow. Did you?
I did. I went to a meeting.
And did you feel like, yeah, this is where I need to be?
I did one meeting and I realized, yep, this is my problem.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, I am a love addict, relationship addict. Fantasy addict is also another one where you basically, you're addicted to the fantasy of that person, of what they could be, who they could be for you, what you would hope that they would be. How I was addicted to the idea of my ex changing into this
I think that's
amazing man that I knew, that I thought he was capable of being.
I think that's what
and I held on to that idea for so long, hoping he would change for me, but he wasn't even willing to change for himself.
Right.
And so I definitely had that kind of addiction, just and I was also a little addicted to the sex too, not gonna lie, you know? So it was overall just an addiction.
She was like, I was the sex addiction, the love addiction, the fantasy addiction.
All of the
I
above.
could say I've been addicted to sex.
Yeah?
Yeah. So like all my partners I have stayed longer because of sex.
Oh.
Yeah, every single one.
Wow.
Which is,
Sex will do that to you, man.
Yes,
Sex is a
definitely
drug.
sex,
That's crazy, because like for me, even for both exes, the sex died out before the relationship actually ended. So I didn't stay for either of them because of sex. I stayed for either of them because of the fantasy of what they could change.
Yeah.
I kind of like tap out of sexual intimacy when I'm not being full off of the emotional aspect. Like if there's
I wish I could tap out like that.
I can't.
No.
I would. There's like
tap
a
out.
hindrance when we're not matching, and like we're facing the same problem every single time. Nothing's changing. I actually lose attraction.
No. Yeah, I do the same thing, but then I'll go latch on to someone else for sex, which is weird.
Yeah.
So like it'll be like my first, like we couldn't just stop having it. It was like every day. Like I had a journal about how much we would have.
Not her
Like it was like day 1, day 2,
this.
this place. October 11th, Shed. October 12th, Zoo. October.
Wow.
It was like that. And then when I finally
It's crazy.
found someone else, I latched onto someone else, and then when I try to go back to that person, then it was not there. I was like, oh, I can't. It's not even here, bruh.
What?
And now I'm addicted to someone else, and that's how I would get addicted. So,
That's interesting.
but I could latch on to someone else.
I mean, when I am dating or something and the sex is good, I'm definitely doing it more often. Like with both of them, I was doing it very often in the beginning, and then you see all the bullshit, and then you're like,
stop. Yeah.
I don't want to. I'm not going there.
Yeah.
But it's like the attraction was there. I just didn't want to go there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Look at us growing.
look at us.
Look at us. So love versus fantasy, right? Have you ever fell in love with the idea of someone rather than who they really are?
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we all have, right?
Yeah.
We're all guilty of that.
Yeah, I'm trying not to do that no more. I think one principle to help navigate, that is, don't date somebody off of their potential. They telling you right there.
Yeah,
and then,
telling who
you know
they
what I
are right
mean?
there.
Like, take matter of fact for matter of fact. And it's interesting because for both of them, I dated for potential, and like what ended both of those relationships is how it all started. It started with the problem. Like I saw I didn't realize it at the time because I was young. What they struggled with that ultimately ended the relationship is exactly how it started. And I still saw them, and I look at them, and I'm grateful for this because I feel like God gave me this gift. I could always see someone, and I can see what like God's love for them because of how
You love them, right?
destined they are to be. Is what I'm saying. Like
yeah.
even a regular person, I'm just like, wow, like you are so special because of what you could be, but you can't be that unless you're doing the work, right? So romantically, I would meet somebody, and I'm like, wow, you have no idea how incredible you actually
Right.
could be. You know what I mean? Instead of taking for the actions that they were doing. And now I'm going to do that. I'm going to pay very close attention.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Right.
no, you're doing this right now. You're probably going to keep doing this. Because both of my last two were the same track record. You know
But
what
I
I
think
mean?
that's the difference, you know, like seeing, like when you see someone and you actually see them making the change, doing the things to actually connect to God. Because the only
That's what
person
I'm
who can
saying,
change
though,
you is
like-
God. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I mean, though. Like,
Yeah.
that they're telling you in real time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who they are. And if it doesn't check off my core values, then I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to
Yeah.
try to make someone, and that was my problem. I would try to mold someone into how they can be the best version of themselves and for me.
Yeah.
When it's like, no, I want someone who's doing the work.
But do
actively.
you also think that could also stem from your control issues?
For sure.
Because that, like,
That's what I'm trying to break.
you know, because even like your idea of what someone could be,
Maybe
it's not
different
even
their
God's idea.
or God's idea.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know?
That's what I'm saying. Like, and that comes from all the stuff as a child. You know what I mean? Like now I'm like, I'm taking whoever I'm gonna be with. It's like I'm taking you for who you are. I'm taking you for what you want to do, what you want to be. I'm not adding to that. Be you. Be how you want to be. Live life the way as if I'm not there, and let's find a way to encourage one another in our journeys.
Exactly.
And if we find a path that we can build something together, then let's do that. But I'm not going to be like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Try to get here. Or like, you could totally do it like this. And, you know, try to aid in so many ways. I'm like, over that. No, I need to focus on me.
I think another thing too, when it comes to really getting to know somebody instead of, you know, falling for the idea of them, is personally, I know that I need to give more time before I actually hook up with a person, before I give them the goods, because that could really fog my mind of who this person is.
Wow.
And I've learned that through the past relationships, because I'm like, it started with lust. So when you build a relationship on the foundation of lust, that's not healthy.
Yeah.
It has to literally be built on the foundation of trust, because otherwise you're going to be blindsided by the dick.
Yeah.
Like, really?
Or the pussy.
Or the pussy. Whichever is your, you know, whichever floats your boat.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think giving enough space to actually really get to know a person before hooking up and, you know, knowing their body before their mind, like it has to start here
Yeah.
rather than there.
Yeah.
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 But sometimes even there, be fucking you up. A lot of people got game. They know how to mess it. They already learned that some girls like it up here. So they can talk this, and then that'll fuck you up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like you almost need time to like put it to the test.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I
'cause it's
mean? I
like,
need to
guys
see
know
you
it.
walk that talk, not just talking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, literally.
But the only way you can see is through time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm taking my time. I'm glad we all are.
Taking our time.
And I'm glad we're here for each other through
We
this
are.
newfound life that we're currently living.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know? But hey, shout out to our exes for being our exes and helping us grow. I hope that I helped y'all grow. I wish all of my exes the best. And I hope that,
Same.
yeah, we just keep moving forward.
Same.
Yes.
All love.
I
All
hope you're
love.
healing out there.
Yeah.
All of you.
So we'll see y'all on the next episode. Look at us.
Bye.
And look at you.
Subscribe to our channel and don't forget to join our squad. Visit lookatuspod.com.